What's up guys, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and in this video we're going to be comparing the original $1,000 Samsung Galaxy Note 9 to a $100 Samsung Galaxy Note 9 clone. Now, why are we doing this video? Well, I personally know a few people who have either got scammed or almost got scammed with a clone, because clones are getting better and better these days. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you guys, and I'm going to be showing you what to look out for if somebody does try to sell you a clone. So let's get straight to it. Right, firstly, looking at the boxes, you'll notice that there's quite a big difference, and that is because Samsung have changed up the box of the Note 9 this year. If we compare the Note 9 clone box to the Note 8, you can see that it's very, very similar. But because this design has been changed up, that's a clear flag straight away that this is what the Note 9 box looks like. You've got the S Pen here at the front, but no doubt the clone boxes will copy this as well going forward. But there are a few things that you can tell on the box, even if they do copy this new design. Firstly, it's the feel. You've got a very nice and smooth feel here on the official Note 9 box. On this clone, it just kind of feels like any of the paper. And also at the back, they've actually done a pretty good job of trying to copy everything, but the font is slightly off. It's not generally the font that Samsung would use. That might not be as noticeable. Right now, getting into the boxes themselves, the inner box is really good, I have to say. It's got the Samsung logo in the middle, and you might be fooled that this is the official thing. However, when you do open it up, you're presented with the phone straight away on the clone. On the official Note 9, we've got this little pack that has the user manuals as well as the SIM card ejector tool. Now, having a look inside the boxes, once again, they have tried to replicate things, but here, not much of a good job has been made. The earphones are completely off. Of course, with the Note 9, we do get the AKG earphones. The USB Type-C cable is black. On here, it's just a standard white cable. And also, the power brick that you get with the Note 9 is black, but the one that we get here is white. Although it still says adaptive fast charging, they have tried to replicate some of the older models. The official Note 9 also comes with a few additional bits. So we've got some adapters, we've got some ear tips, and we've also got this tool which is going to be used to change the nibs on the S Pen, and we've also got some spare nibs. These are things that you're not going to be getting on the clone. So that's the box, but if somebody's trying to sell you a fake Note 9, they may not have it in the box. They might just have the device itself, and they might say that they've lost the box or something. So let's have a look at the devices now. Now, looking at the back, you can see that they've replicated things really well. The camera placement, the fingerprint scanner, as well as the logo are in very similar positions. But we've got this text here at the bottom. We do have some FCC information here at the bottom on the Note 9. This is something that you may not get in the US, but in the UK and in the EU, there is still a requirement to have this. So that's the reason why it's here. But it stands out so much more on this clone. It doesn't kind of just blend in. It's just not light like it is on the official one. And although this blue color might be slightly off, there is a black version of the clone, which we also have here. And because black is just black, it might be difficult to tell the black version apart from the midnight black version of the Note 9. But again, these labels do kind of give it away a little bit. And it looks like they've tried to replicate the glass back, but I'm not sure if this is glass. It kind of feels like plastic, so it might just be plastic with a finish to make it look like glass. Now, moving on to the front, this is kind of where we're going to really be able to tell the difference between these. And the first thing I can see is that we also have an always on display on the clone, which is quite surprising. They have really tried to replicate this, but the original Note 9 has a curved display. And now this is something that's not easy to replicate. It's a signature design of Samsung, having those dual curved displays. Now, if you look on the clone, they have tried to curve it in slightly, but the curves are nowhere near that of the original Note 9. And also, if you run your thumb across the side of the Note 9, it's kind of seamless. You can feel where the screen ends, but it's a very smooth feeling. Whereas on the clone, it's definitely not as smooth. It's a lot more rough in comparison. Now, looking at the displays, this is where you're really going to be able to tell them apart, because Samsung does make some of the best displays, and the Note 9 is currently the best display in the market according to DisplayMate. And that is because it's a Super AMOLED display. It's very vibrant and sharp. This is definitely not the case with the clone Note 9. However, the bezels are pretty impressive on the clone Note 9. They're not as small as the original Note 9, but they are pretty small compared to something like the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. I'm surprised they've managed to do this at this price point. The wallpaper as well is the same wallpaper that we've got on the S9. It's not what we've got on the Note 9. This of course may be updated with time with the newer clones. And generally when you move around, things just are not as smooth as you would find on the Note 9. And that is of course because this is not running the latest and greatest internals like the Note 9 is. And a good way to find this out, if you can, is to run a Geekbench test. Now, as soon as you open Geekbench, the first thing you'll notice is that the first cluster has 4 cores at 0 GHz. So that's obviously kind of fishy. This is not the case on the original, but they have kind of masked a few things. So it says model Samsung N9600, which is obviously not the case here on the clone, but they have been able to mask that. Now, if you actually manage to run the Geekbench 4 test, you'll notice the difference in scores. Look at that, it's absolutely crazy. And it also took a very long time for the test to run here on the clone. Of course, that is because the internals are really inferior compared to the Note 9. You can scroll down and a few different flags come up here. Memory, you've only got under 1 GB of RAM on here, whereas the Note 9 does come with 6 as a base. Some of these things they can mask, but generally speaking, the overall score, they're not going to be able to mask. And that is definitely something to look out for. Now, the cameras, of course, you're gonna have potato cameras on this clone. And you can notice this as soon as you open it. The autofocus is really bad. You only have a single working camera on here. And the interface is quite a bit different compared to what we've got on the Note 9. You're not gonna have things like the live focus mode, super slow-mo, which you'll be able to see as soon as you open the camera app on the Note 9. In terms of quality, of course, you can just test this out and you should pretty easily be able to tell that the quality on the clone is not going to be anywhere near that of the official Note 9. Now, having a look around, on the right hand side, they do have the power in a similar place. They've got the SIM card tray in a similar place too. We've got the volume buttons, and there's also a Bixby button. So they've gone as far as having a Bixby button. So let's just see what happens when you press the Bixby button. And it launches fake Bixby. That's amazing. It's crazy that they've actually gone to the length of making a fake Bixby to make this convincing. That's insane. At the bottom, we do have a headphone jack, and then we've got USB Type-C input, which is really low on the clone. We've got a speaker, and then of course we've got the S Pen. Now, on the official Note 9, you have to kind of push the S Pen in and it's gonna come out. On this clone, you can't actually do that. You need some nails and you need to kind of pull it out, and the difference is massive. Now, the S Pen on the Note 9 is one of the key features. It's got a clicky back and it's also got Bluetooth enabled. On this clone, it's just a standard pen. It looks like it's made out of metal. The button doesn't actually press. I can't feel it pressing, so that's definitely fake. Does it actually work? Yes, it does work, but it's not responsive at all. Let's try the same here on this. Yep. I mean, you'll be able to notice that straight away. If you pull out the S Pen and you try to draw on it, it's pretty laggy and you're not going to be able to get a masterpiece on here using this fake S Pen. Definitely something to look out for. Now, we're just going to test out if the fingerprint scanner actually works on this clone. I'm kind of scared to put my fingerprints on this, so I'm going to use my little pinky finger. All right. The fingerprint setup process is pretty different. It's super quick on the Note 9. You just have to swipe down. On this clone, you have to kind of push it a few times. All right, so I've just put it in now. Let's see if this works to unlock the device. All right, it did work. I mean, it wasn't that responsive, but it did work. Let's try that again. Okay, that does work. I'm gonna try it with another finger on my hand. Nope, that doesn't work. Interesting. So the fingerprint scan actually works on this clone, which is pretty surprising, I have to say. They have gone to a lot of effort to make this convincing, but that's about it really. That is the $100 Samsung Galaxy Note 9 clone versus the original Samsung Galaxy Note 9. I gotta say that they are getting better and better, these clones. This is a $100 clone. I don't know, maybe there will be like $300 clones, which will be even more convincing than this one. So definitely watch out for these. Don't waste your money on something like this and make sure nobody scams you. Definitely look out for the things that I mentioned in the box, on the device itself. And always remember, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. I'm not sure where I stole that line from, but anyway, you guys get the gist. If somebody comes up to you and says that, hey, do you want to buy my Note 9 for like $300, then you know there's something fishy, because this thing retails at $1,000 and nobody's going to really sell you it for that cheap. So watch out and don't get scammed. What do you guys think of these Note 9 clones? Do you think they're getting better and better? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications. We've got lots more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV. I'll see you next time.